Hello everyone, welcome to day 90 of playing chess every day for you. Let's find the game. Starting with black, e4, so Caro-Kann. This is the highest rated opponent I've played. I don't want to develop this knight because my opponent can push. I can take here. And the knight moves. But then I just develop. Knight goes to the edge of the board, that looks wrong. e6 attacks the knight here. Play e6, attacking the knight. I also have queen f6. If he protects, I have queen f6. Forcing this. Or the knight. So we want to take this knight. The knight's almost trapped, but not yet. It only has this square left. Knight has to escape. Then I get to play bishop f6, which looks strong. So I get to weaken my opponent's structure right now. I think that's the move. I can develop my knight here, defending this. If my opponent adds an attacker, I only have queen moves maybe. Queen attacks. So I don't see how I can defend this pawn except with a queen move. Like queen to d4. My opponent has no checks, but queen d4. Queen d4 doesn't look bad, but we pressure this knight and threaten the rook long term, but maybe the queen just comes in. I'll play queen d4. Could push here, but that's not good. If I push, I can win this pawn. So if I push, my opponent makes a knight move. I can take here. I think I can push here. The knight is pinned to the bishop, so there's not really any. There aren't really any good discoveries here. If f takes the e pawn, we take with check. If the knight moves, we take the bishop. Taking that way looked better. Now I can take here still. Don't see any ways he can attack my queen. Take there. I need to bring my other knight into the game. My opponent castles. I could castle here as well. I could jump my knight in. A trade would be okay. But that activates my opponent's... I think I'll just castle him. Then get my knight into the game. A knight trade is okay here for me. We attack this rook. Knight e4 also attacks this. So I think knight e4 is the right move here. Steps the king away. I'll play knight e4. A trade's very good for me. We attack the rook. We're attacking the rook here Rook slides over. I could push and look for this, but I think it's more important to develop my bishop here first. I completely missed this check from my opponent. Can't take here. Going to the corner is actually my only move, and my opponent can win my queen by just moving the rook. It's actually almost checkmate here. I can't even go here to defend. Actually, my only move in this position is to... Pushing loses my queen. h6 is impossible. f6 blunders mates. I have to give up my queen here, but if I go here, my opponent takes with check. And that's actually checkmate. So we blundered here. I didn't see the threat of rook to g1. We don't have any moves here. I think even giving up the queen doesn't work. It's a double check on my king. And it's not checkmate, but it will be very soon. You have to give up every piece. And that's checkmate for my opponent. I have no moves. My opponent can sacrifice as well. Which makes sense. Why is my opponent doing this? My opponent already had mate on the board. Oh no, queen f8 wasn't mate. That's my mistake. But queen 2. No. So there wasn't mate. My opponent had to sacrifice a rook. Yeah, we're just gonna... My opponent's just gonna take my pawns and win the game. This is just mate. We have no moves. Good game. Let's look at this game. We played at a 61.3 and my opponent is 79.8. We played the Caro-Kann. My opponent made a big mistake here by playing b3. I take the pawn with tempo on the knight. And I actually missed g5 here, which traps the knight. And I missed g5. Wow. I knew knight h4 looks very bad. I somehow missed g5, which just traps the piece. The best move after knight to g5, after pawn g5 is queen bishop to b2. Just giving up the piece, but attacking the rook. But then I can block with f. Can I block with just f6? No. Because that gives queen h5 check, which is very strong. The best move is actually knight to f6 here. That's interesting. Making space for the knight is the only move for my opponent. We attack it in the wrong way, we should have played g5 earlier. Taking wasn't actually the best move. Queen d4 is a mistake. Because of the bishop pressuring the queen. And after castling, if the knight moves to double attack the queen, he could weaken my structure as well. So it's not a good move from me. Pushing wasn't as good as I thought. I should have just castled. So knight trade isn't so good for me because rook g1 is the best move because of this huge threat on my king. I thought rook g1 just moved it out of danger, but I missed this alignment. And here there's mate in 3 moves. My opponent missed the mate. He can give up the rook, and this is just mate. Sacrifice. There's a rook sacrifice here for my opponent. Still, this move was bad. The best move I had here was just e5. Doesn't stop the mate though, and so we lose this game. My opponent had too many pieces left on the board. Let's find the second game. This time we're playing as white. We play e4. We get the Scandinavian defense, which I know the first few moves off, but after queen takes we attack with this knight. There aren't any ways we can attack this. We can just take space in the center. This knight move is good. We can develop our own knights. Bishop comes out. We can challenge the bishop. We have to be careful of checks, but right now there aren't any. Challenging the bishop looks okay. Knight jumps in. So this knight is pinned. I can't take. If I play here and my opponent takes, if I play and my opponent takes, I can probably take here. If I go here and my opponent goes here, I can take, tempo on the queen. Bishop d2 looks good. So my opponent goes for this. I'd rather take, I shouldn't have taken the knight that quickly, because it was already trapped. But so maybe I should have taken the bishop here first. But then the queen would take on an active square, so the pawn comes in. I could castle long, could castle short. I think I'll castle just short. Pushing here. If I push, my opponent resigns. Why? Okay. I was just thinking of pushing here. My opponent takes, that's a blunder. Because of this rook check. And this position is very good for me. So I'm not sure my opponent resigned so early, but we played on an 87.7. My opponent was 79.8. We played like a 1500, my opponent like a 1300. We played e4. This is all good in the Scandinavian. Jumping the knight in is actually the best move. Not sure why this move would be so good, but I have to look at this more closely. Challenging the bishop is okay. This knight move is a mistake, because I could castle here and just add attackers onto it. So taking the knight was best, probably because this comes with check. This trade is okay, we're slightly better. This bishop move is a mistake, but it's not a huge mistake. We can push d5 here. My opponent cannot take with the queen, because my knight's there. If we push and takes with the pawn, we have check, which is very strong. For example, I push. If my opponent would take, rook check comes in, then my opponent would have to block. Then we could take here, attacking this piece. You probably have to castle here. Still take the piece with check. And my position is just very, very good. Probably go for queen trade here, attacking this. Isn't that good of a move, but... So 2 very short games today. 1 game in the first one where we blundered. We blundered a tactic of sacrificing a rook. It wasn't really a sacrifice. My opponent just lined up his bishop and rook on my b2 pawn. This second game where my opponent resigns in this position after playing bishop to d6. Our position is better, but not by very much, so I'm not sure my opponent resigned. That's it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.